I'd like to introduce you to a system that I made using shortcuts and some off-the-shelf Mac software. I don't know if it's unique, but seeing how that you have some of the field guides that I purchased, I wanted to run it by you. So it starts with my main menu of creating a daily pre-flight. And my daily pre-flight goes out and gathers my OmniFocus task. It collects some RSS feeds and puts together my daily pre-flight review. I look at this every morning to start my day, and it creates this worksheet in Obsidian. And you can see that the worksheet is dated for today. I have some happy quotes, motivational quotes, which is an RSS feed. I've got some tags of the top 5 critical tasks that must be completed today. And then I have some other RSS feeds that are of interest to me. The core of it is my meetings for the day. And then I also have a snapshot of the Google Calendar. It's actually an iframe. And a few more feeds that are pertaining to me. I'm in renewable energy. But I use this every day because my meetings are actually links to Obsidian pages. It will create a new Obsidian page, give it the date and the name that I want it, and I can populate these with my meeting sheets. This one's I've already done, preparing for this blocker meeting today, and I'm going to show you how I do that. If I go to my daily huddle, the daily huddle is a daily meeting I have with my team, with my sales team. I bring up my main menu through Keyboard Maestro, and this is a sheet I want to use before and during a meeting. I just type in huddle. I don't need to be specific because it will search OmniFocus. Here is the project called Daily Huddle, and then it assembles my worksheet for this meeting. Sometimes I add other meetings on the same worksheet. I'm not going to do that here, but you'll see I've got a link to OmniFocus. I have agenda. I have blockers. These are all tags. Resources are both links to OmniFocus as well as an HTTP link to go to a website that people may find useful. And then open notes are notes that I took during the meeting that I want to keep open. And when I don't want to see them here, I just complete them and then they close. And these are the outstanding tasks that are assigned to the people for those tasks and any recent decisions that were captured before. So this is actually a worksheet where I can click on these links and it will bring up OmniFocus and bring that project. So this one, reminder to update your forecast. I don't want it to show up anymore. It doesn't change it on the sheet here, but I know that I just checked it off. Some older notes, if I wanted to turn those off, I can do that too. I don't want that to show up anymore. So I'm just doing a reconciliation of the notes that I want to keep forefront and open. And same thing with the task. And if there's a task that has already been completed or isn't relevant or has been dropped, I can do that here. And I can now prepare for this meeting that I haven't had yet. So if I want to add something to the agenda, I use #agenda, which is my keyword to make this happen in OmniFocus for the right label. I freely type, and this is what I like about it. I just use it like a word processor, or it tells you how old I am. I just use it like, free flow text. And I have these keywords already loaded in the program. And if I need to assign a task to Leon's, in this case, I just do #Leon's. Can you prepare your sales overview? And that now is going to create that task. Again, I'm preparing this meeting sheet that I haven't had yet, but I'm going to be having in a little bit. And then when I just do a dash, this is a note. I don't need to do a hashtag note. I can, it knows that, but I don't need to because I take notes so often. I just use the dash mark there. Now that I've added and subtracted what I wanted to do, I process this note. This is a keyboard shortcut that I used, and what it's doing is it's adding those items to that project sheet in OmniFocus, and I'll show you what that looks like. Let me just get it in the window here, so you can see it added Lee, and it put the the tag where it was supposed to, and same thing with the agenda. And I have the emojis there, which I like emojis. And I'll show you what happens when I send this because some of my team members don't like it. But now I'm going to still work on meetings. I'm going to send this agenda to my team. And it's going to be the updated agenda. I just typed in Huddle, same workflow. I find Huddle, and it's going to ask me who do I want to send it to. And I pick the email distribution list. Sometimes I add an extra tag, I'm not going to. And it generates this automatically, puts the to in the email header. I always do an RSS feed that's specific to our solar industry. And you can see that it lists the agenda, the meeting notes that are still open. Sometimes I have to do a little cleanup. Not always. I'm not sure why it's doing this here. Again, I'm not really a programmer. The blockers that are open, the open task, and then the helpful resources that I keep open, which are links that they would use for this meeting. And notice that the emojis are gone. So this is a little more professional when it sends. And now the example I'm showing is I'm actually in the meeting and we're talking to my team and I'm taking notes. So the team reviewed all of the open items today. So that's a simple note. And then if I want to, if we made a decision, I do hashtag decision. The team decided on, or we agreed that we will start traveling again and meeting with customers. So it's the same kind of natural typing workflow that I like. And I don't have to use any buttons. I can just type. And when the meeting is complete, I can, well, here's another one I'm putting in. It's called a blocker. So I try to identify what's blocking our people from taking the next step. And so I'm going to list that out here. Customer needs 24/7 monitoring, something really silly that we're putting in here. So I'm using this as a regular note sheet. I process it. Now it updated OmniFocus. I don't really need to go back to this sheet. I'm going to bring up my menu, and now I'm going to send the follow-up email from the meeting. Same workflow, type in Huddle in this case, select the daily Huddle, and now it's going to bring in and create the meeting follow-up email. And you can see it changed. The post-meeting, it has a new RSS on it. The agenda items we talked about, the notes for the meeting, the new notes that I added, the decision that we made, you can see it dated it there, and the resources that I want them to see. And I have similar, I have a bunch of these where I can actually do a historical lookup and show closed notes and closed activities. So this is how I use it every day. I can go back and forth with the daily calendar and click on the link to go to the meeting page. And on that meeting page, I can bring in my worksheet. So again, I don't know if this is something that is too basic for you and for what some of the people you're looking at. It just has been a game changer for me and wanted to share it to see if you thought it was interesting. Here I'm loading, and I typed Tamara, who's someone that works for me. Those are the projects that I have, and I keep them as meetings. So it's going to load in this meeting sheet, similar to the other one. But in this case, I'm going to say, yes, let's add another meeting. So I have multiple projects with Tamara, but maybe we're going to talk about a company, and I can't remember the name of the company. I know solar is in the name of it. And it's like, yes, I want to talk about Nautilus Solar. And so now it's going to bring in that project sheet and add it to this. And then I want to add a label, which isn't tied to any projects. It will bring in the label Tamara that I use if it shows up in any other project. So now when I go to this meeting, and I wouldn't necessarily send her this because it's too much information, but for me, I have everything I need in this sheet that's clickable and actionable for me to have this productive meeting. So love to know what you think. Thank you.